Welcome, welcome. I think it's happening now. Yes, I'm live on YouTube. I hope it's working. Hello, hello. Gorgeous soul. So good to have you here. Thank you so much. I want to talk with you about what it means actually when we ask our soul what our true purpose is. I mean, I do this work now since so many years. I remember when it happened the first time. I worked already as a business coach, and one of my really loyal and long-term client, at that time it was a man, actually, an engineer. He asked me for guidance to find his true purpose to create a soul business from that. He had this deep desire to change and to go, actually wants to go away from his really high paid job as an engineer to his own business and to serve with his most beautiful skills. In the meantime, I mean, this was about, let me this was around 16 years ago or something, or even more. In the meantime, he has still his soul business together with his wife, and as I know, it's very successful and they are very, very happy. So at that time, it just happened that I got from his soul, actually. I was so happy that I was able to realize what the source of this information is. I learned that as a trained, educated medium in my education, because just to tell what I perceive and not to know from where it is coming, it did not seem and never seemed for me like serious, right? I was really in this, I always had this approach for myself when I worked psychically or mediumistically with this not visible energies, that I really know from where the information is coming. And I remember at the time when I realized these pictures of him working with dogs and also with their owners in a therapeutic way, that when I realized to get these pictures with him, that it's actually from his soul. This was so relieving to know it's not my imagination or my true desires, deepest desires for him, right? So I found a way to communicate with him and his wife about these visions. And this was actually the foundation for my work until now. And I learned to develop this skill to actually, I invited more clients to work with me, and in the first steps to for free, actually, right? And to go in the name of experiments with that. And later on, I was actually very high paid for that in one-on-one areas to help my clients. They often were already very successful, either in leading positions or also as an entrepreneur. But as you probably know, success alone is not a guarantee that you feel fulfilled, right? So we can really create success not based on our true purpose. But in the other hand, it also means And this is actually a misunderstanding out there. It really does not mean when you go with your clear alignment for what you are here as an enlightened soul in this human experience, it does not mean that you are successful then, right? So a lot of colleagues of mine, I see that out there on YouTube, on Instagram, they promise that as soon as you go with your intuition, which is actually one language of your soul, you would only be happy and successful. And that's not true. So this is one thing what it means when you ask your soul for your true purpose. It means you are ready for your truth, for your unique truth. You are really ready to step in your radical responsibility for your own life. Because you can imagine you then receive everything what you can hold now in this consciousness about you. Literally everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So we get the invitation, the more we go with our reality, not reality, with our truth, the more we are also faced with our shadow topics. And I remember when I first went these conscious steps, I actually never faced some sort of fear to meet my shadow parts. I had to learn that from my clients that they sometimes have this fear. I don't know why I don't have it. It's probably the same reason why I once chose to be a police officer in Zurich. I always, already as a child, learned that the best and the most efficient way to come to a goal is to just go through, even if it's not easy, right? And this helped me actually also in my profession as a canine police officer. And it also helped me to develop not only my instincts, but also my intuition. What is the difference? Instincts are the impulses for you in this body as a human animal, right? So we are also animals. We are like pack animals. The difference is we have this developed brain, right? And we are able to be conscious and to do decisions and to do this inner work, right? But the instincts actually just do one thing for you. It is to save your life. And when it's really dangerous, you then attack or you hide or you freeze. And this is led by our instincts. What I learned in my over than 20 years now working consciously with intuition, which is one language of our soul, that intuition is a little bit faster than instincts. Because instincts is for this embodiment with this of your body, and intuition is led from your soul with which is immortal, right? And is faster than the instinct, but both are very, very fast. That's also the reason why a lot of people are confusing them. Excuse me. So back at that time as a police agent, also as a canine agent, leading a really, really, really beautiful heart of a dog called Doogie, I learned the difference and I learned to deal with that. So your intuition as one's language of your soul helps you to come on your true path and to go your true path, right? As long as we don't confuse intuition with, let's say, instincts or our fears or conditioned behavior, it's actually a very beautiful thing to follow our intuition. And this is the meaning as from that moment on, when we realize this desire to get more, to go more with our uniqueness and with our true self, it's also that we are faced with our shadow parts. And sometimes it's really not easy to face them, right? It means that we are really in our center, that we are really in our power also when we are doing wrong things, that we can admit that without guilt, but just admit it and to go with the consequences instead of being on our side and always blaming other people, other things like circumstances or the weather or God or who else for the thoughts and the things, right? I think this is one of the most difficult things for human beings as soon as we really seek for our true desires and really seek for living more unique, living a life which is more like ourself, aka which actually means that we are more fulfilled and more happy. And when we ask for our true purpose and our true life path, we actually, or I think so, we also believe that we are here as an enlightened soul to to experience this human life. A lot of spiritual teacher out there teach us that it's meant to get enlightened as a human, and this is not necessary because you and everyone is an immortal and enlightened soul already. We are here to experience this life. And I always tell my people, don't believe me, only believe what you realize. It's helping you, it's opening your energy and relieving your path. And I do the same for my path. And what I always got from Spirit World, my spirit team, from the conversations with God and also my soul, is that we as a soul literally wrote this life as a bestseller, right? So when you are familiar with the acts, the three and the five acts of a really good story, you actually perceive this as soon as you watch a movie or read a really good book. then it's created also with these 3 or 5 acts of the story and the storyline. And when we study the lives of human beings, it's mostly, or actually always also like that. We go through the stages. We are the protagonist of our own life. And this is our bestseller. And this is our movie, literally. And especially when people are in a place where they suffer a lot or already a long time, actually. And when people are accidentally thinking it's not stopping and we are literally a victim, and I really know from what I talk because I was there too after over than 30 years of chronic pains. It's possible that we sometimes think the bad time is not ending and it's literally meant for us for always, right? But this is what one of those beliefs which actually helped myself to come out of from this place, to realize it's going over and I live this bestseller. I live this movie. I am in the middle of a, a depth and I'm creating something. And this is actually happening for me and for a reason, which is also nurturing my skills and my ability to help other people. So, and here we are again, right? It's always with these beliefs, it's never about what is true or not, because this overall truth for everyone is not existing. It's only about what is true for you. And you should choose wisely, because what we accept as a truth is nurturing our life, our bestseller, not the one of the others. And when we choose a belief about the truth which is not helping us, we are literally creating our not helping life, right? But when we choose a belief which is helping us, like me at that time, when I chose, I am the protagonist of my own bestseller, my own movie, and this part of my life is going over. And there is a reason why I experienced this and I choose this once as a soul, and I will learn a lot and I will take that to help others so much more meaningful than before. This actually helped me. This gave me such a beautiful energy, and still is it giving me this energy. So, coming back to the question, what does it mean asking our soul for our true purpose? It actually means that we can trust in this moment when we ask, we literally get only this consciousness as an answer which we are able to hold. We don't get everything. I mean, I think this is logical, because when we would know everything, we actually cannot experience the things like we once chose them to experience, right? When we know everything, it's not possible to experience the things. Doesn't matter of if they are good or bad. So we can literally trust that as soon as we tune in our soul's energy, we get those answers which are meant for us now to know and which are actually helping us also for the next steps. And that's also very important that we not only ask once, because as soon as you get this question within you, you are literally meant for that, to go with this consciousness again and again and again. And that's why I show my clients how to adjust every day and literally ask for the updates, because we as a living being, we develop endless, right? We are in this endless development. We all know that nothing is for sure but the change, right? So like we as a human being are developing always, literally every minute or second, it's also like that with our purpose. So everything is developing, everything is changing in literally every minute. And the easiest way to catch up with these updates is just to tune in every day, at least once. Tune in your soul's frequency. I call it soul stream. And as we are human beings, and we need to help us not to forget to do it, right? I, I do things like this on autopilot, which actually means I consciously go with that, with discipline every day for a few weeks, at least 2 or 3 months. It's scientifically proven that we human beings need 3 months with consciousness to set up a new behavior. So I do that. I show it also to my clients to do that consciously in the first few months. And then it's on autopilot and it's literally enlightening us. Because it doesn't matter what our script, our bestseller has meant for us. It's just making us so happy, even if it's a hard time. What's the part and the main story of our bestseller? It's because you know that too. As soon as you allow yourself to truly be you, it's just making happy, right? Even if at the moment we go through a hard time. And this is what it means to ask your soul for your truth. As soon as you develop this courage to face your shadow parts and to learn how to deal with that, which is not hard actually, just to embrace and to receive the relieving of being in your center and in your true power and going with your responsibility. It is so relieving actually. As soon as you allow yourself to do that, it's really much easier to be courageous. It's so much easier to go with courage and to even go new paths, which often is the case. I had the honor to work with over than 200 people to receive their true purpose. And this was always one of the patterns that the life which they literally already lived until now, and the life which was literally meant for them was not the same. And this is the most difficult part, I think. As soon as you are there in this consciousness, to ask yourself, how can I merge my daily life, which is my truth until yesterday, with my true desires, my true me, right? And this needs courage. This needs courage because often people around us are not, they are actually worried about us when we want to change, right? They think something is going wrong with us. Sometimes we also have to leave even people which we love very much, or we have to leave places to move elsewhere. Like me, I moved from Switzerland to Dubai. It was since a few years so clear, this calling, so clear. And no one understood this. No one. And sometimes it doesn't mean to move. I mean, it's not the same for everyone, right? It's so individual. But sometimes it means to move. Perhaps just to change the apartment or the house or the village or the town. But sometimes it also means to change the country or even the culture or the continent. But you can you can you don't have to be worried about that, because you get everything on power and support from spirit world, your spirit team, from God and your soul, when this is meant for you. And how do you realize it's meant for you? It's simply because of the fact that you are thinking about that you are literally playing with these thoughts, right? So, and you don't have to worry about the timing. Do I have to do it fast? Do I have to do it yesterday? Did I do something wrong? Right? You don't have to go there. You can literally trust that if it's not coming earlier, it's not meant for you earlier. And when you ask yourself, oh yes, then when is it meant for me to move? You will literally feel it with your intuition. You will feel it when next step, when it's time for the next step. And sometimes it's time for literally 10 steps in one movement, and then you just do it. Or sometimes it's not a step, it's a jump. But because you feel this, it's like you get pulled, right? Pulling, it's always like a little bit above, a pulling to above and ahead. You realize it's meant for you, even when your whole nervous system is literally going crazy, right? So learn to breathe, learn to be in your center. I call it conscious with me moments. Learn to anchor with Mother Earth and to be aligned with your spirit team and your soul and God. But sometimes it's not like this tragic, tragically movements. Sometimes it's leaving a relationship or leaving a job or creating new relationships or a new job. I normally attract those who are already self-employed, and often were already very successful, and they are on a point where they finally can breathe and have more time for themselves and ask themselves, and now, what's the point? What is it about in my life? And we can trust it's the perfect timing when you are faced with these questions, and your soul is showing this question in so many different ways. It could be that it's coming from within, or with sleepless nights, or with restlessness, or with burnout or bore out, or literally with that you suddenly see videos like this, or that you read books like this, or something like that. These are also signs or something like a language from your soul, so that you can go with these questions. In the first years, when I had my clients to receive their true purpose, I just channeled it from their soul. I connected to their soul, not to their spirit team, not to my spirit team, not to my soul, but to their soul. That's also one reason why it is so important to know the source of our perception. And they literally had to believe what I tell them, right? Often there were tears and very moving moments, but as soon as they went back to their daily life, it was often not possible for them to change. So I asked a few years ago Spiritual to give me another procedure so that my clients can have a, a better chance to change, right? So this new procedure, and it meant that I helped my clients to come in another state, in another conscious state, literally in this soul stream state. And this is with this is meant with a couple of exercises and also questions. They get some questions which they ask to their soul. In the first steps, they don't know that they are talking to their soul because they don't know how it feels, right? But later on, and the more questions they ask to themselves, they feel more and more how they are in their center and in their own truth. And it's getting more and more familiar, and it's getting more true and more deeper. And that's what I actually offer in my soul calling portal too. In the meantime, I trained a custom GPT for a specific part where you go through these questions. So it's not about that you work with the GPT to ask the GPT questions about you, but it's about that it helps you to ask the right questions and to come back, always to come back in your center. As soon as you leave your center and as soon as you are not conscious anymore, or as soon as you want to have it faster or only want to have one answer, like it would be our oracle. It stops you and brings you back to your center. It was very hard to train it like that. And I see a lot have some troubles with that because their brain is telling them it must be in another way. It must working in another way, right? But this is what I can stand behind. And this is what I offer to you. It's for free. You can jump in the Soul Calling portal. You find the link below the video. And if you are already in and you see this video, I highly recommend you to go through the steps in the classrooms so that you get access to this workshop and to this adventure with yourself. Use the possibilities to ask questions. We have such a beautiful, supportive community. It's very calm. It's very down to earth and very, very much love. A lot of love. Even when it's a day with completely calmness. But it's a safe place, a safe space, and you are very welcome there. And who knows, probably you are once who is helping another one who is coming in the first time, right? In the calling portal itself, you can also experience some specific other courses based on your true soul calling, which is the soul strategy experience. Let's say you feel called to do a business, soul business, or another business, or a project like a business, you can learn there to ask your soul for the strategy of that. And we also have the quantum manifestation course there, which is mind-blowing, a teaching directly from above about these new terms in these new times with this bigger consciousness and awareness which is offering for us and going with these other rules to manifest our true goals, right? And also the bridge program, we are actually in the middle of the bridge program now, the live version, which is helping you to create an MRR and community business based on your soul calling. You find it everything in the soul calling portal. You also get more access when you want to book myself in one-on-one or in a higher tier with a special group experience. You can ask there. You find everything there. I would love to get to know you better, and which will happen as soon as you are in the portal, for sure. If you don't want to jump in the portal, but you have some question, don't hesitate to contact me on Instagram and DM me there. Tell me about this video and your biggest ahas, and I will be happy to answer your questions. Yes, in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I hope it's clearer now to realize what it means to ask our soul for our true purpose. I once know for sure it worth it 1,000% because it's so touching to finally go with your own pace and to finally stand for you and go for you 100%. It's so good. And I believe that I only attract those who are meant to literally create big things in this world to the better of everyone involved. And I also believe that everyone who's attracted to me and this work and creating something from their own purpose, that we are also meant to do big things together. We will receive how it's working in the next few months and years. So if you feel drawn to that, if you realize this is such a beautiful energy and I want to be part of it, I would love to get to know you and your purpose and your energy. It would be an honor. Thank you for watching. Please follow my channel. Leave a comment if it's aligned for you. Share the video if you think you know someone who would love to see that or hear that. And come back for the next one. Thank you so much. Mm.